again. Want to start checking this steering. See if I can get this thing working properly. Alright, so here's what I found out. There are two levers here on the spectrum. The top one is steering rate. The bottom one is brake control. So my top one, by me holding this controller the way I hold it, somehow, let's see if I can get this. Somehow my thumb right here has hit the steering rate all the way down to 60%. So I literally had no steering on this thing. And then my brake sensitivity was well past 100. Well, all the way up at 100, which what ended up happening was when I go to hit the brake like that, I would accidentally double tap it, and it would try to spin it, and in turn messed up my spur gear. So now that I got the settings all fixed, and my voltage is getting pretty low on this controller. This one eats up batteries. It's at 51%, and I had just put batteries in this controller. My Futaba doesn't eat up batteries as bad as this thing. But with that said, this is on my DBXL-E 2.0. So I wanted to double check everything to see what was going on. And now I have full steering back. So that's a big plus. But I couldn't figure out why when I was running this thing I had very limited steering. That's funny. Yeah, I had very, very limited steering. So I wanted to double check it and see what was going on. But I'll probably give it a rip again tomorrow. I don't know if I'll film it, but I wanted to double check to see what was going on. With so many RCs and so many things going on and using so many different controllers, you really have to get familiar with the RC before you actually go and take it out. In this one I run adapters for my batteries because I don't want to cut off these ends for the smart system, because the plan is I eventually want to try the smart batteries. And I was running these 4S Electron Pros 7600, and I normally run a bigger battery in the DBXL-E 2.0, but they weren't charged up, so didn't really matter. But I had to pull this cover, and I found the tooth chipped off and the spur gear had actually went forward. I don't know if you guys heard on the video, the RC was pretty quiet, and all of a sudden it sounded like I crashed when I was on the POV, when the camera was mounted to it. And what happened was I accidentally double tapped reverse, and it went to try to spin backwards, and then spun. This gear slid forward and then spun on the shaft, and then it was riding halfway, and then it was making a horrible noise. It was making the noise like my regular DBXL-E made, the original. So I'm going to pop that up here now and take a look at that and see if that gear had slipped. So here's my original, and I don't think I have this on my my Spectrum. But I'm gonna look at it and see if it is, because this is the 2.0 model select. My Losi 5T's on it. Slash Rustler. So I think I'm going to try to add this one. Create a new model. name. These are a little difficult to put in the model names. Well, this one's actually easier. I'm going to turn the camera up so you can see what I'm doing. This one's a little easier because it's got the spin dial, where the swipe up dial of, let's see, of this DX5 rugged. I have a hard time with this dial right here, so I only have one car in that. I don't know why they put capitals and lowercase in here. So that's it. And let me plug in some batteries. So this one has the same. Need the adapters. Buying this. See if I can remember. Does this one have a bind port? Yeah, it does. So let me turn this back off. I think I carry it in. Oh, yes I do. I use this little slot on the side here to keep a bind plug so that I always have one with the controller. Let me tilt this back down now. So I'm going to hook it into the bind port. There we go. So now it's flashing. Let's go to bind, bind. And I don't know if, yeah, see it says bind failed. Bind failed. There we go. Took several times, but it finally bound up. I hate when it does that. I have a lot of trouble binding these Spectrums. My Rugged, I could only get one to bind into that one. This one I had to do 4 times, and it finally accepted it. I don't know what the deal is with that, but I'm trying to get rid of all these darn remotes. I have so now I gotta fix the trim because it's turning to the right. So let's go to my sub trim. Steering. Seems about right. Back out of that. Okay. Now I'm going to pop this cover off and take a look at that gear. Because this one was sounding real bad when I ran it the day I wrecked it. Mesh looks good. Check the set screw. Of course, it's bigger. I am giving these a shot. I'll let you know how the review goes. I'm been using these things for about a week. I want to make sure they don't strip out before I actually do a review on them. But these pop into the back, and I like that they're bits so that I can put them into my guns. And it is magnetized and just slips in instead of a locking mechanism. Yep. That is tight. One thing I can say about this set so far is that the way this goes into the bottom of this, I wish this was a thread-on and you could screw it on. Instead, it's got a rubber O-ring. You got to push it on, which makes it hard to get in and out, especially when that rubber's dry on a cold day. Pretty hard to get that in and out. But I do like the big handle on it. It feels good in the hand, and I like how I don't have to push a clip to get this out. I like that as well. So stay tuned for a full review on this tool. A couple of people have used these already, but yeah, review coming soon. When you have as many RCs as I have, there's always something to do with one of the RCs. Always something to do. So getting them set up right. What I'm doing now is trying to get rid of the controllers and put everything I can that's off-road into this. Everything on-road is going into my Futaba. I used to strictly use my Futaba just for my speed cars, but now I'm going to make the Futaba all on-road. And I do get a lot of questions about my booster. I don't have the booster on here now, I just have the antenna screwed in, but the booster screws into this and the antenna screws into that, And then right here where the Velcro is, I Velcro my battery to amplify it. It's something I bought on eBay, but the only reason I don't show how this is done, I have showed a video on this, but you have to take your controller apart to get the wire to run out to hook all this up. It's very complicated, and if you're new to the hobby, taking your $400 controller apart, I don't suggest it, so I just don't show it. So we got this one bound up. And then my gas one, I am not going to bind into one of these because gas receivers are a little different than electric receivers, which I found out. So on my Futaba. But there we go, guys. I'm going to stop it here. I just figured I'd give you a little update on what's going on with these. I did get the sway bar link hooked back up. I did that off camera when I had the big crash here. This mark right here is from the crash. And then right here on the body, I don't know if you guys can see it, but right there on the body, let me move this back, it's wrinkled up right there from the accident. Didn't really put a hole in the body, it just wrinkled it up a little bit. Just some dents right in there. So I'll probably apply a heat gun and try to remove those dents. But yeah, for stuffing this wheel back here, didn't cause much damage at all. Parts were expensive, but didn't cause much damage. So thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you on the next video.